Okay, Laura, a good session today. I think we hit on a couple things here. Is this the same day? Doesn't look like the same day. Oh yeah, it is, because you had the windbreaker on. Okay. First of all, I want to show you a swing here that I captured. Well, let's do this one, actually, and then we'll come back to that one because I got it a little closer up and you can see it. What we're going to try to do is get your wrist cocked earlier in your backswing. Okay, so okay, so let's watch when she's halfway back, her wrists are fully cocked, right? And it's pointed down like this. There's the angle of the club. And her hands are about the same place as yours. So now there's your club on that line. Okay, so what we're going to try to do is add in to the several other things that you're doing well. We're going to try to add a wrist set, a wrist cock earlier in the backswing so that this club head does not get in here behind you. You asked me the other day what happens when you're hitting back here. This is one of the big reasons. Now that you're turning better and you're not swaying off the ball as much, it will help. But the final step in not hitting behind it is to get the club in the air sooner, more vertical, earlier. Okay, like this. Now when she's to the left arm, lead arm parallel, wrists are fully cocked. So yours at that point is still on this angle. And what I want you to try to do is in your practice, take the club back and cock your wrist early enough so that it's pointed at the ball. See, they do get hinged at the top, right? But it's already wide and inside by that time. All your mistakes, by the way, are coming down or bottoming out back here. So we're trying to get you to bottom out at the ball a little more. Your club face and your hands and your arm are in an excellent position at the top right here. And you're maintaining your posture, which is another big hurdle you've got over. You're doing so many things that you've worked on before that are kicking in for you. You've got to get this final phase, which is the downswing. And to get it narrower, remember before I was explaining to you about arc and being too wide and too narrow? Okay, one of the things that will make it wide would be a big sway off the ball and a really inside takeaway. So the easiest way for you to picture all this would be the first, foot or so away from the ball, dead straight, so that your check position would be this. Watch. Your check position would be right there when my left arm, your left arm is parallel to the ground. The club should be in line with your hands at that point, not so far behind them. And how do you do that? You cock your wrist much earlier in your backswing. Make sense? Okay, good. Like that. See that? Wrist cocked. Club never really got behind her. It's when it starts to get behind you, it's pointed at the ground or at the ball, never over here. Does that make sense to you? Okay. So you're going to hinge your wrist early. This is a real good comparison for you. Now, the next thing we got to do here is this. Continuing on the thought with this downswing, okay? Once you get here, I want you to, once you get at this point, where would the club be? It would be looking more like this. It'd be looking more just like that. So this wrist would hinge a little bit earlier, okay? So that means you won't sway off the ball as much, which you're not doing as much. You are staying over it. At times, sometimes when you're going for your driver on a big hit, you sway over it a little bit. Now this next part is kind of critical. You do not push your hands out away from your body here. They have to come down and stay in close to you, because that's the other thing that will hit way back here. But watch your move here. You see that right there? Pay attention to that again, because that's a critical part of what you're learning here. Watch. Out. Now it's wide. Now if we were looking at that on the side, we'd see that downswing arc way outside of that backswing arc. And we're trying to keep it, we're trying to do all the things in your swing that will keep it inside. Now on this one, because you had a really good turn through, you hit it nicely. This part is coming along beautifully. I think your ability to get rotated at the target is probably better than it's ever been. The other thing I might consider is don't have your head too buried down too long, because that really negates your ability to turn through. When you set up at the ball, you're looking at it, but upon hitting it, you should be following it. Don't get your chin down that much. Have your chin off your chest a little bit. That'll help your body turn. We all have a lot of weight in the head of our body, and that's really going to be a lot easier for you if you let your head kind of roll with this whole thing. But I want to go back to that top part, which is really kind of critical. So you're going to start here, right? By the time you're here, that wrist will be fully hinged. You stay over the ball. Now, do not push it away. Just don't let that wide space get there. Just keep it nice and close to you. Pull down, turn through. And your ground game is getting better. But when you say you have those, occasional lapses with it, I think that's what's happening. That real wide backswing, which is the result of too late with the wrist, and the real push away downswing, where you're real wide downswing. You relax the shoulders. You don't ever want to hold them up tight. Just relax them. And you chin off your chest, but looking at the ball. There it is again. It's real wide and it's way inside. And there's that push away again, real wide. See how far out you're coming? Now we have to pull that thing down much closer. You just can't get this much space between your hands and your body. Just pull it down and go through it. You really had some good shots today. You're right on the cusp here of hitting some very good shots when you use your body properly like this. Almost every shot you're turning through the ball. Okay, so that's plenty to work on. I want to put Jim's on your video here, because I don't have an email for him, and it's pretty simple what we did with him. So you can have him maybe watch this with you or send it to him. I don't know. But one of the things that we got to get rid of is a very, very outside swing and a very open club face. So the first thing, Jim, you got to do is move that left hand way over to the right. I mean, I think there's no such thing as too strong of a grip for you at this point. Okay, so you really have to get your left hand grip strong. Make sure your shoulder stays almost closed. Like if this would be your target, like this direction, your shoulders can't get open. Okay, so as you come back, you don't want to roll the club open. The club at this point should be still looking down at the ball, because this is what we call fan to open. Try to stay in your posture as much as possible, and above all, if we can get rid of the slice, we're going to get rid of some of the out to in. This path, which is extremely over the top or out to in, it's going in this direction. That's a result of, for many years, having hit a slice. And that's why I told you that everything that goes like this now is going to be better, because it will be more impetus for you to swing from the inside like we want. But this is real outside in. So the crux of the matter would be starting with the left hand, getting your shoulders back, getting them almost closed, Jim. Take the club back and do not roll it open. Keep it closed and looking down at the ball as long as you possibly can. And when you get here, no turn into the ball. See, watch what happens here. See, you're turning, your shoulders are turning. Yeah, I'm going to show you a different swing idea here that you might get onto that might help you for a little model here. Comparison. Okay, this would be more of an example of what I mean. Now, do you see where his hands are? His hands are right about at the left level of his shoulder. Do you see where your hands are? Right about the same place as his. Look at the difference. His back is still completely turned, and yours have completely almost opened. So your move from the top is you turn your body, your upper body, into the ball before anything comes down. Watch how far he comes down with his back still at the target. His hands here are all the way down to his belt, and his back is still turned to the target. His chest is facing us at the camera here. See how early you're unwinding your body? When you unwind that early, there's only one place that club can go. Way outside the ball. Like that would be great for a softball, but it's not going to hit the ball, anything on the ground. And your shoulders, that's why I closed them, because they're even more open at the impact position. And then it's cutting across there. So if I gave you an example of a clock dial here, your swing's coming over here from 5 to 10. You really want it from 7 to 1. That's why I put a ball out here today, so you could feel like we get a better direction for the swing. This would be 7 o'clock, that'd be 1 o'clock. Seven. This would be 1. That's the path you want. If 12 be your target up here, right? Let's say 12 is your target. You would want to take it, drop your arms down to 7 and swing them out to 1. But they come over there to 5. and they swing where? Over there to 930. So if the way he's able to swing out in this direction more is his back stays closed. From there, he just lets it go from the inside of the ball. And then you roll your hands over like we were working on today, and you've got it. So you have an outside in swing. The way you fix it is close your shoulders, fix your grip, and when you turn your shoulders in the backswing, just keep them turned longer. And you'll get rid of that slice, as you did today. A lot of shots with a little bit of a draw on them. Okay, there you go, guys.